One, two, one, two. So, Randy, did you want to be an anthropologist at one time?
Yes,
And you gave up on your dream to be an anthropologist. Why?
because sorry, I'm so tired.
Okay.
Did you start already?
Yeah, we're recording right now, so
Oh, so sorry.
no reason to apologize.
You gonna start all over?
No.
You're not?
No, we're good.
Erase it.
No, we're good. All you have to do is. Well, I want to talk about Zora Neale Hurston, and I really want you to share your story. All right, we can start there.
You're at 109 right now.
So we're looking at Zora Neale Hurston right now, and she was an anthropologist, a black woman who was an anthropologist. And Randy, you wanted to be an anthropologist at one time,
Yes.
and the point of making this video is to say one thing: representation matters. So Randy wanted to be an anthropologist, but she didn't see black women in the field, and so there wasn't like, yeah, there wasn't a spirit of I can do it too. That's what I want to be like. I'm gonna follow her steps, her footsteps, or whatever.
I mean, all the anthropologists that I studied and knew about were women, but they were white women. I mean, no offense, but uh, it's. I just felt like, was it realistic for me to even pursue being an anthropologist, being a black young lady, young woman? So yeah, there really wasn't much representation. So I kind of got discouraged and kind of found another like a major to pursue.
Same thing with Malcolm X. Malcolm X said, "I want to be a lawyer," and the doctor and the teacher said, "Now being a lawyer is not a career for a colored boy. You know, I mean that's really what it boiled down to. Look at, but we have representation, but we've always been excellent. We've got brilliant doctors, lawyers, inventors, psychologists, therapists, anthropologists, architects, you name it, we've done it. But it's the point of we don't learn or we don't see representations of our forefathers. We didn't learn about, in particular, Zora Neale Hurston. I want y'all to peep game. So, just as I grabbed a book from off of the my bookshelf here, like a couple of weeks ago, I was like, "What book? What book do I want to read?" And I was like, "Let me check out Zora Neale Hurston. Their eyes were watching God. I have this book," and I was like, let me grab it." So I grabbed this book, took it off the shelf. I also have the audio book, and I was like, "I'm gonna read this." Well, I played the audio book one night. I fell asleep, but at least I had sort of an effort. I put in a little effort you know to read the book. I did not know when I grabbed this book just a couple of weeks ago that I was perhaps grabbing the book because like Zora Neale Hurston's spirit was guiding me. Sounds a little weird, sounds a little funky, but it's true because it's the month of January. I grabbed this book. Unbeknownst to me, Zora Neale Hurston was born in January. She also died in the month of January. So that was a crazy connection to the month of January for me to have just looked at my books and been like, let me grab this one. It was weird. I'll tell you what happened to me also when I was in Cuba. I'm gonna show the video from Cuba right about now. I was in Cuba and I picked up a book about Che Guevara. Let me see if I have it right here. I don't see it. Here it is. I bought this book in Cuba. This is Che Guevara's book, and I was reading it, right? I was reading the first pages, and then I'm in Cuba, the land, the country where his legacy permeates the island. I'm reading this book, and then I discover a connection with 10-9.
You're at 109 right now.
He was killed on 10-9, right? And I'm reading this book in Cuba. And at that time, I was saying to myself, hey, he was killed in Bolivia. That's a completely other country. There's no connection with his spirit because his spirit is in Bolivia, and I'm physically in Cuba reading about his life. But I'm learning about a connection between him and I, 10-9, a month, a day. What I didn't know in that moment was that no, his spirit was no longer in Bolivia. His spirit, his body, his remains have been brought back to Cuba. So I was in Cuba, and Che was in Cuba. His remains, his legacy permeates the island. You see pictures of him all over the island and whatnot, and what forth or whatever. So Che was actually there in Cuba when I was there, and I made that connection. I was reading his book and I saw 10-9. True story. Randy's feeling a little under the weather, but when I told Randy this story about Zora Neale Hurston, about picking up her book and like having her spirit lead me to doing it, and then the fact that it's January and she was born in January and died in January, and all of these things, Randy was impressed with the story. Like, wow, that's wild. That's another one of those moments. So I had to share that story with you. Um, Zora Neale Hurston was an anthropologist, cultural anthropologist, and she focused on her people. All right, and um, she focused on the Southern blacks. I mean, her people, our people. That's us. Okay, and so she documented their lives on video, on record, audio, video, audio, and she wrote. She even was a literary genius. She wrote stories as well. In the in the same vein, when I travel, I try to connect with the people because I dabble in anthropology myself. That's what I was doing when I was in the Philippines. I was in the Philippines with the indigenous people because I kind of fancy myself like a National Geographic anthropologist, going to see the real deal. And so that's what I was doing. But anytime I travel, I'm not traveling to luxuriate, stay in hotel. I know Randy likes that. Randy loves that. But I mean, for me, it was like I was trying to learn some history. I was trying to educate myself. I was like, dude, I didn't. Nobody told me about this stuff. And anytime I did learn about it, anytime I did learn about our planet, some white person was telling me, oh, they had this experience in the jungle, and this is what this animal eats, and this is what these people act like and do this, and then. I had to listen to some white person tell me. I'm just like, come on, man. Where are the black explorers? Where are the black people to tell me who I can connect with to tell me these stories? So that's what really, inspired my travel. I really wanted to see the world for myself. I didn't want to listen to the stories from other people. So yeah, I was trying to be like Zora Neale Hurston. And another little nugget, a little factoid. I'm wearing this North Face, this California inspired sweatshirt. But when I picked up this book, I was wearing my Howard University sweatshirt. And that Howard University sweatshirt, oof, man, that was another connection to Zora Neale Hurston because she was a Howard University student. Even before it was Howard University, it was Howard Academy, I think they said. Like, I had Zora Neale Hurston's spirit and energy, just like, come on, you know. And it's the month of January, so this is a video dedicated to Zora Neale Hurston, And a salute to Alice Walker, because we never would have known about Zora Neale Hurston were it not for the work of Alice Walker, you know. And then finally, the last thing to say about this in this video is there's an argument. There's some political stuff going on in Florida. DeSantis, they banned AP Afro American history because they say it teaches critical race theory in Florida. Whenever someone tries to suppress our history, very much in the way that this woman, Zora Neale Hurston's, life and legacy would have been hidden from us, I mean, it's not a good thing, because we need to inspire our little black boys and black girls and we need to educate them and show them, hey, you can do it. It's been done before by people just like you. You can follow in their tradition. But we don't see that, because we often see rappers and basketball players as a representation of our of our role models, of people that we need to aspire to be like. When the truth is that the truth is so far from that. It's like that Dave Chappelle joke where he was talking about the kids and giving them inspiring words. Well, I'll let Dave Chappelle tell that joke here. So I'll drop it right here. Peace and blessings, Randy. Say goodnight, Randy.
Good night.
Yep. All right, Dave Chappelle, you're at.
You're at 109 right now.
That's Kobe. Dave, take it away.
Big of a deal. I spoke at my old high school and I told them kids straight up, if you guys are serious about making it out of this ghetto, you gotta focus. You gotta stop blaming white people for your problems. And you've gotta learn how to rap or play basketball or something, nigga. You're trapped. You are trapped. Either do that or sell crack. That's your only options. That's the only way I've ever seen it work. You better get to entertaining these white people, nigga. Get to dancing. Go on out there and be somebody.